Hello, loves. My name is Jennifer Thoreau, and I am your current IADD president. I am here today with the special honor of introducing you to your 2022 Cutting Edge Award recipient, John Dickison. The IADD Cutting Edge Award focuses on the person or teams of people who has made the most positive impact on our industry, preferably within the last 24 months, demonstrating innovation, excellence, passion, achievement, and knowledge. The recipient stands as a fine example to our industry colleagues. To meet the criteria for this award, an individual should have demonstrated a unique, meaningful, or emerging contribution to the die-cutting, die-making industry, or they should have in some way influenced the industry in a positive manner, or they could, but are not necessarily required to, have shown a pattern of active participation or intent to participate within the IADD. John Dickison, lovingly known to many of us as JD, has a tendency to going above and beyond. There is no or needed for this guy. He checks the box for all of these. JD's start to the industry began 44 years ago, not even out of high school yet. While studying engineering in high school, Champlain Rodogrov visited and offered a work-study program to John's school as well as other local schools. Champlain Rodogrov had big printing presses. One of the positions available for this program was for engineering, so John enrolled. He was the only one to enroll from his class, and by doing so, his journey began. 4 years into working with Champlain, Bobst Group acquired the company. JD had began working as a draftsman and continued down this path with Bobst. However, with the acquisition came more machines that John now handled. Sheet-fed product lines and die cutters and folder gluers. In the 1980s, John started to get involved with technical services. With this, he worked on machine installations and also began to conduct engineering projects that made more sense to test back here in the States than in Switzerland. It is with this position shift that JD began to get more involved with the die makers. By the 90s, John had started the Bobst tooling division, by himself no less. With this division, JD's focus was selling third-party equipment. In his first year, he brought a few $100,000 in sales, but grew that number to tens of millions in sales and caught the attention of Switzerland. Now the division is worldwide and has 15 people bringing in sales. With the latest acquisition of Cedo, this continues to expand. John remains in the tooling division, but is a long cry from the one-man show he started it as years ago. In doing so, he must be able to work well with die makers, vendors, converters, folding carton, and rotary. While keeping very busy with Bobst through his career, JD has always found time for the IADD. He remembers his start being gradual. He began attending local chapter meetings and says he just began to raise his hand. Such a simple statement. Whether it was to ask a question or to volunteer for help, JD raised his hand. By doing so, he caught the attention of his colleagues and was eventually nominated onto the board. In 2008, he joined on as chair for the Mid-Atlantic chapter, and he would help on task forces for annual meetings, preparations, and more. JD's involvement quickly grew with his focus turned more towards technical service. When I asked his colleagues to share their thoughts on JD, they shared some experience. It is clear that the man is well known and well respected. Everyone I spoke to commented on how everybody knows him. If you're in sales, chances are you are riding on JD's heels at some point or another. John is known to share his knowledge, and it is diverse. Whether it's in his daily interactions with customers or in casual conversations, John can do it all. Where he has shined the most is with his reams of actual technical information he has produced. I can't even begin to imagine how many technical articles, presentations, and educational programs that John has been a part of over the span of his career. A favorite memory of mine with JD happened a couple of years ago right after COVID hit. A colleague of John's had reached out to him to see if he could offer any help cutting them the clear plastic protective face shields. In a matter of days, JD had acquired all of the material needed for the cutting die, had the die made, joined forces with Rick Putch at the National Tech Center, and got to work. Rick recalled being just as impressed with JD's craftsmanship than anything else. The guy can also swing a mallet with the best of them. What I remember being most impressed about was just this amazing turnaround time. John had a friend in need, and he produced. John's accomplishments span from designing what is now the Starbucks coffee sleeve, the lid lock on the McDonald's kids meal box, to numerous machine innovations. But when you ask him what his biggest accomplishment is, it is his passion in helping customers. He loves the part of being part of the process of the troubleshooting team and finding a solution together. Regardless of whether that results in a sale or not, JD wants to develop the relationship and he wants to pay it forward. It is clear to me that over the years, John has made immeasurable contributions to the IADD and an invaluable resource to this industry. When I asked John what he sees himself doing in the future, he quickly answered, fishing. Not quite the answer I was looking for, but okay. He is an outdoorsy kind of guy, and when I altered that question to what he balances his work volunteer life with, he really stated anything outdoors. He loves to hunt and fish, and rumor has it, he's been in a board meeting or a customer call or two from a tree stand. I'm not sure that that's the balance I was talking about. JD, as Connie Adams so wisely pointed out, it is time you were recognized for your accomplishments and contributions. So from the plaque, recognizing passionate and generous sharing of technical expertise, support, and leadership to the association and industry. So here's to you, sir. Congratulations on being the 2022 Cutting Edge Award recipient, John Dickison.
There you go, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for this. It was really unexpected, and to get recognized by your peers really means something for me. And I have taken a few calls from a tree stand, some of them from my buddy over there when he was working for West Rock, a few of them. And I really appreciate this, and I couldn't do it. I don't do it by myself. I like to say I know a little about a lot, and if there's a question I can't answer or I get stuck with something, I know a lot of people. I can always make a phone call to somebody. I mean, that's what it's about. If I can't figure it out, there's somebody out there that has the answer I'm looking for. And that's what the IADD is for, really. If you're looking for an answer, it's someplace to turn to. Okay, that's it. That's for me, and thanks very much.